Hello, welcome back to Veg Plot. It's a lovely blue sky day today. So we're going in the polytunnel first. Got lots of things to pot on and then up to the allotment. I've got some wood chip to take up and potatoes to plant. Anyway, everything seems to be coming on nicely. I don't know about you in your garden and so on and so forth, but I've got the lettuces. These are the outrageous. These have all taken quite nicely. Zabroon shallots, they're doing okay. Sweet peas still chugging along. Tomatoes, look at them all. I didn't have 100% germination, so I had to resow some of the ones that I was given. But yeah, basically they're all looking lovely. Look at them. Some doing better than others. And then some of the other seedlings which we put out, the cauliflowers, cabbages and the mangel wurzels and things. You can see some of them suffered a little bit, but the inner leaf, the new first leaf is coming through, that's fine. So I think they're going to be okay. Rest of the polytunnels all doing as it was in the last video. Rhubarb still going crazy. Somebody asked me about that actually, why it's in the polytunnel, and yeah, I've got it in here because I separated some of it and potted it up because I'm going to put this one up onto the new allotment, up on the church allotment, and then I've got another one over there which might go up there, and I've also got one from one of my neighbours who wanted one of the plants, one of these Timply earlies, because they seem to do rather well. Oh, have you seen these? These are gooseberries. This is a gooseberry cutting given to me by Suttons a few years ago, but I don't know if you can see there are loads of little flowers coming on it, so I might actually get some gooseberries in there this year. Right, oh, we've also got potatoes, as I said. These are all going to go out. I've got more here, and I want to pot up these roses. These are the Dublin Bay rose, which I took up at my mum's house, lovely red ones. So I've got those to pot up, and some more sort of rambling roses that we have here in the garden. I think we'll get on and plant up the tomatoes first. Let's make some space, get these potatoes out of the way for the moment. Right, I've got a big selection here, but I'm aiming to grow only one of each variety this year, with maybe a couple of two of my favourites, which is Honeycomb and Summer of Love. I'm even only growing one Alice's Dream this year because I sort of know what it's like, and I've got so many others to choose from this year. So in here we have got, even though I'm only doing one, I've got a few more than one. I've got Bananas Noir. This was given to me. This is a lovely one, I think. Prairie Fire, Fuego Rosa and Golden Pineapple. So I've got 4 varieties in here to pot up. So how to break these out of here? I've got a little fork. Take the labels out. Bananas Noir. I think Bananas Noir is a tomato that was grown by someone in the States, and it was a happy sort of cross basically between that and Ananas Noir, I think, and some unknown variety. Anyway, they're good little plants, but apparently they're smaller and better flavoured than Ananas Noir, so we shall see. So I'm just going to separate them just a little bit, very gentle, and then I'm going to bury them sort of a bit deeper. So I'm probably going to bury them right up to the cotyledons here, right up to here, and then hopefully the plant will send out roots further up the stem, and that means we will then have a stronger tomato plant. And as I said in earlier videos, you can see that's what I've done there. And once they've got a little bit taller, I'm going to be nipping out the tips and letting them grow on 2 or 3 side shoots. That's the plan this year. So anyway, that's that one. Put the label in, Bananas Noir. I better pot the others up as well, lest I forget which is which. And then the next one I've got here is Prairie Fire, of which I've only got one plant. So it's quite a healthy plant as well. Look at the size of that one compared to the others. I think what it was is that some of these I sowed on the 7th of March. Some didn't germinate like the Bananas Noir, so I had to re-sow them, and they were like a week later on the 15th. But you can see the roots are doing nicely. So although it's a bigger plant, I'm going to use the same pot. Take some compost out. This will just sort of get me going to the next stage when I get back from being away. And then maybe they'll need to go into bigger pots when I get back. So that's that one. Sorry, that's Prairie Fire, that one. yeah, so not looking too bad. Right, put that over here and get on with the next. Right, I'm just going to get on with all of them actually, pop them all on. So I haven't grown many of these. I can't show you photos like this golden pineapple. It's a lovely tomato. That germinated on the 7th, went in on the 7th of the 3rd, so that's done well. But these again, these I think were the 15th. Fuego Rossa, but yeah, they're a lot smaller. Right, so I'll get on all of them and then we'll catch up when all the tomatoes are in. Right, I've got one tomato to go from this tray here, and then I'm going to go and get the wood chip and go up the allotment and plant the potatoes. I've only got a few more tomatoes to do, but I basically want to get up there before it gets too late in the day. So this one is Yellow Brick Road and is a dwarf. So nice healthy looking plant. So we're just going to put that in there, bury it up to the cotyledons. Often find, well, last year I grew yellow ochre, which was a dwarf, but yeah, it grew to about 3 or 4 foot tall. So they're not that small. Right, okay, that's Yellow Brick Road. Give that a little water. And we'll add it to the others. Right, come and have a look. Right, we'll just put that in there with the others. So we've got 3 full trays worth of tomatoes here. And then I've still got these and these to do when I get back. But as I say, I want to go up to the allotment now before it gets on a bit later in the day, and get this wood chip put down for the path, because apparently the gate's been opened up to the allotment. Now it's drier and we can order in some green waste compost in a couple of weeks' time to fill up the rest of the bed. So yeah, we'll go and get the compost, take the potatoes, and we'll go and plant them up on the allotment. It's lovely up here at the moment. There's a couple of people up here by the looks of it, but yeah, it's such a glorious day today, isn't it? I thought I might be able to spin you around. I stand up on this post and see if I spin you around, you can have a look at the view. I hope that caught it. I don't know if it did, but yeah, it's lovely up here. It's a bit blustery. And that actually is a point I was thinking about doing. We've got the pear tree here, just coming into blossom. Look at all this beautiful blossom on here. Isn't that gorgeous? Really lovely. Lots of it this year, it seems. Some yet to open, which hasn't opened yet, but a lot has. So I'm kind of hoping that it doesn't this wind doesn't blow off the blossom, which would be really, really disappointing. Anyway, I want to get the potatoes now. I want to get them into the beds. So this is the first one. I think we're going to get all the first earlies into this one, and then we'll get the second earlies into that one up there. They've chitted nicely, which is really good. They've been on a north-facing windowsill for, I don't know, what, a couple of months maybe. And yeah, the chits are nice, short and dark and stubby. They desperately want to get going. You can see the roots here wanting to come out, these little green ones, and then the shoots coming off here. So we'll take these and hopefully I can lift them. We'll go and get them into the bed up here. Right, so let's not confuse them. Let's put the second earlies over here so I don't get carried away and plant them all in the same bed. Anyway, I'm going to split them into 2 halves. So I guess the middle of the bed's about here. And then, yeah, I'm hoping I can get them all in. 1, 2. So these are Pentland Javelin. And you can see the chit's not quite as big. Quite a big potato this. It might have been better to halve this, but I sort of can't be bothered now. Anyway, right, so I've tucked this in the edge. Just like that, so I don't forget. And these are the rocket. So let's bury that in there. So that's got them laid out. I've just popped a little couple in just to see how it's going in the ground. But yeah, these are Rocket, as I said, a first early potato. And you can see the chits are doing really well. So when you plant them in the soil, obviously you want to make sure that you plant them with the chits up. I don't know if I mentioned, but you know, chits are obviously just shoots, and that's where the leaves are coming out from. And so they want to be down like a trowel's depth. So depth of a trowel, up to the handle top, about here maybe. Yeah, and you pop that into the ground and they'll shoot up. Now if you get a frost, if you haven't done this before, if you get a frost, you want to cover them over with fleece or something like that, quite a heavy fleece, just because the frost will actually kill off the leaves and knock back your development of the new potatoes under the ground. And you know, if you don't get a frost and everything goes according to plan, then we should have new potatoes coming off these plants out of this bed in about 10 to 12 weeks time, so July time, something like that. So we're now at the beginning of April. Right, before I plant any more, I want to actually go and get some water from the water tanks, because I actually want to water them in as we go, just because the ground's probably quite dry under there. So right, let's get the watering cans out and we'll yeah, start filling them up. We've had a good winter with the water tanks, so really full, both completely full to the top, which is really good. The system still seems to be holding up. Comes off here and off the chute and goes down into the gutter and then down through the pipe into the tank, and then when this one fills up, it goes through that little joining pipe and then fills up this second one. So that's the plan anyway. Right, okay, I'll just get this water. I'll see you back down there in a minute. Got the water, so as I said, yeah, get your potato, get your trowel in, nice and deep. I'm going to put some water in the hole first, and I'm going to pop the potato in nice and deep and cover it over. And hopefully, yeah, we should have potatoes in a few months' time. Pleased with these raised beds at the moment. They haven't bowed out at all, which is good. I mean, I suppose time will tell. But at the moment, the road pins I put on the side, the two road pins, one each side, seem to be doing the trick. Always feels good, doesn't it, when you get your potatoes in? This is quite exciting. Feels like the year is really beginning to start to move ahead. Of course, being April, there's so much you can sow now. Everything, more or less. Yeah, depending where you are, maybe, I don't know, but I think April, most places, you can sow more or less everything now. So when I get back, it should be kind of crazy busy in the polytunnel. Right, let's yeah, go up and do these second earlies up in the other bed. I don't think I've got quite so many of these. These are Kestrel. So yeah, look at the chit on that. Yeah, amazing. Right, 1, 2, that last one. Yeah, there we go. That's perfect, isn't it? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 in this bed. Let's get on, get these watered in, and then we'll get on and do the wood chip down the path. Right, that's all those in, as I say. Right, just get this in. These are the Kestrel, second early. £4.85 for this pack. I think you can get them cheaper. I think I've probably paid a bit over the odds for them. But anyway, that's them in there. The only other thing I want to do here with the wood chip is to mulch the artichokes. These are a green or purple artichoke, globe artichoke. So I'm going to empty this, spread it around the base, just help keep the moisture in. One thing about artichoke is they're quite delicate in relation to these winds, quite susceptible, so they do get hammered a bit. So I kind of am always amazed how well this does. I think some of the others that are at home, I'm going to yeah, bring them up here at some point, plant them on the end there, maybe a couple on the end. But also I want to get the rhubarb in here. So that's the rhubarb that I was talking about in the polytunnel. So we can have a couple of rhubarb plants here. That's the plan anyway. I think we'll head back now to the polytunnel, finish the tomatoes, but first we'll have a look at these roses, these Dublin Bay roses. Right, I'll see you back there. Wow, it's so windy out there, it's crazy. It's a real blower. It's amazing. Anyway, got some leeks while I was up at the allotment, so quite pleased with those. These are Musselburgh, same as I've been harvesting before, but yeah, looking really nice. So there are still more up there, some going to flower, but I think, yeah, by the time I get back, many of them will have been actually. So thought we'd just harvest a few for tea. Really pleased with those. Let's get on with these rose cuttings, shall we? Yeah, I want to get these Dublin Bay all potted up soon as possible, so that they've got lovely pots to grow in while I'm away. Yeah, I think there's about 4 or 5 plants in this pot alone. So right, let's get on and finish these off. So let's see what they're like, shall we? Just going to tip it upside down. Roots are just beginning to come through the bottom. Look at that. There we go. Amazing. Just got some lovely roots on there. It's quite dry, the soil, so I'm going to split this apart. What you could use for this is some sort of knife or something. That would be handy if I had one. There we go. Got an old kitchen knife. So basically, yeah, if I just take that down the middle a little bit and then gently tease it apart, very gently. Oh, they're all coming apart. Now this one's just beginning to get little roots on, but a little bit slow, but shooting nonetheless. And this one is actually sending up a shoot from the base. Look at this, this is so dry, it's just coming apart. This isn't, don't think this is necessarily good. Anyway, gently try not to break that new shoot off. Some good root on there, isn't there? Look at that. So that was just cuttings with a root hormone. It's just on the end where it's all rooted, it's calloused over and rooted. So what we should do is quickly get this into some soil. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this one hasn't made it. So put that down there. Okay. So I'm using a mix here. This is just sort of compost, old garden soil, plus some of that farmyard manure compost that you can get from the garden centre. So just getting some water. So I'm just going to water in this hole here, and then I'm going to pop it in as deep as I can get it. Get the roots in there. There we go. Give it another water. And make sure those roots are kept nice and wet. And put the soil back in. And gently firm that in, not too hard. And then I'll top it up with some this compost. And there we are, one Dublin Bay. Alright, probably needs a good soaking. Make sure the soil's nice and wet so those roots can get on and do their job. Brilliant. Right, that's one. Put this down on the ground and we'll pop the others up. Right, that's all the Dublin Bay all planted up and watered in. I haven't got time to do the ramblers from the garden, but I think these will do for the moment. I also haven't got time to do the final tomatoes. I've got to go in and make tea. Anyway, so that's been Chris at Veg Plot. It's been a lovely day and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.